Sure. And I'm glad you guys touched on that because I really didn't cover the actual contingency. So I'll cover that, contingencies and how that works for those that don't know. So like I had mentioned, you got the first 17 days to do all your inspections. After that's over with and you guys, come to an agreement and everything looks good and you're happy with everything, we move on to the next phase. But before you do that, what you have to do is remove what's called contingencies, the buyer inspection contingency. So basically, this is just signing off saying we inspected the home, we still love the home, it's still going to work, we're ready to move forward to the next step. And so once you sign the contingency removal, basically you can't go back and use that as a reason that you don't want to say. After you can't come back and say, oh, well, we don't want the house because we don't like it or there's some issues with it, because you've already passed that point per se. So after the 17 days, that's why you get so much time to review the disclosures, which will be sent from the seller. So the seller will send you basically forms letting you know what they know about the home, what they made repairs, any issues with the house. As far as they know, they're going to send you information for you to review. But again, after you have that time within the 17 days to review the paperwork and to do all your inspections and to decide if the house is going to be right for you. Once you remove the contingencies, we go on to the loan and appraisal contingency. So once the appraised value comes in, say it appraises at the right price, and we have to wait for the loan approval. Once we get loan approval, Tristan's like, hey, yeah, the loan is finally approved. You're good to go. Then that's when we'll sign off and remove the loan and appraisal contingency. And once we do that, that's saying you're going full steam ahead. You're not backing down. You're pretty much locked into the home at that point, per se. The only thing is, once you sign off the contingencies at both times, so you done the buyer's inspection contingency, signed off, go to the loan and appraisal. Once that's approved, you sign off on that. Now, if you decide last minute to back out, you're like, I just don't want to buy the house anymore. You could be very at risk of losing your earnest money deposit, your initial deposit, like we talked about, like the $1,500 amount we said. You could potentially lose that once you've signed off on all your contingencies. So just make sure you have a good communication with the realtor. I'm sure they will definitely keep you in the loop of the contingency time frames, because those are very important, and you don't want to lose your initial deposit at all. That's anything you want to do.
No, that's perfect.
But yeah, so just keep that in mind. Those are two key points. So after the loan and appraisal contingencies removed, we're looking towards closing. Pretty much we're going to the final stages. Tristan, is there anything significant you want to talk about as far as final loan approval? Because that's pretty much down to the wire of their last contingency once that's approved.
Yeah. So I mean, what you want to do is obviously get your lender, once you get into contract, get your lender all the documentation that they request, right? There'll be updates. They'll want updated pay stubs, updated bank statements. They'll want to see your earnest money deposit, where it's coming from. One little tip for the earnest money deposit is, make sure that it's coming from your bank account and that we can source the money that's being used, right? A lot of times, if there's large cash deposits into your bank account, we can't necessarily source those cash deposits and we won't be able to use that money for the purchase of the house. So it's really important that a lot of people know that. So if you have mattress money or whatever it is, remember that money's got to be in the bank, and we can't use it if there's large deposits on your bank statement. But in terms of final approval, what you really want to do is have the loan underwritten within the first, I'd say 10 days of the transaction, 10 days to 2 weeks of the transaction. And then you want to be able to have your final loan approval probably on a 30-day transaction, at least by day 21 or 25, right? Because probably day 21, because it's going to take, some time to get your final loan docs out, work the final numbers on the loan. And then also, if there's any changes to the contract too, if there's any addendums or if there's any price changes, if there's any requests for repairs, things like that, it's really important to, make sure that all the parties involved know, right? The escrow company, the title company, your loan officer and the underwriter, just so they can make those appropriate changes. at the last minute, right? If it's done at the last minute, it can slow things down. So that's kind of important to note. Last minute price changes, things like that, can slow things down. So the more information that we can give up front, that we can give the bank up front, the smoother the transaction is going to be.
Awesome. And so that brings us pretty much, once we're past that stage, the appraisal and loan approval, basically we're at the last final stretch, and so what happens about 3 days or so before the actual close, you and your realtor are actually going to go back to the home one more time and do what is called a final walkthrough. And at this point, you're basically just there to make sure the house is in the same condition as it was when you first saw it. It'll be terrible to go back to the house, and it's happened. People go back to the house for the final walkthrough, and there's a miscellaneous hole in the wall, or there's like something, there's like you're running the faucet and now it's leaking. You're like, wait a minute. And also that's a perfect time where you're going to check to see if all the repairs that you had requested from the request for repair were fixed. So the realtor should go through each item that you requested the seller to fix initially, to make sure they were done. Make sure all the repairs are done, and everything is safe and sound and good to go. And once you're done with the final walkthrough, you're pretty much gonna close within a day or two. It's pretty much almost time to get the keys.
Yeah.
That's when that's when the celebration pretty much happens. And is there anything else you want to chime on the close? Yeah.
No, that was it. You mentioned also doing a second inspection with your realtor. Another thing too is your home inspector can do a second inspection if you do have major requests for repair.
Sure.
Significant items, not like a loose faucet or something like that, but
right.
Yeah, maybe something major like strapping in the water heater or something like that. If you want to get that re-inspected.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, we do that. We offer re-inspections. Usually they're on big ticket items or items that you can't get to, per se when you're doing your final walkthrough, such as the roof or your HVAC unit or something in the attic that they need to repair. So just today I was coming from a re-inspection because they repaired the items, but they didn't do it correctly. So I actually had to go back a second time and make sure that they did it correctly. So that way when you move in, there's no surprises. There's no safety issues when you move in.
Definitely. Good stuff. Yeah. And as you guys can see on the screen, this is the happy family, and this is time to celebrate once you close on your house, your brand new home. It's just a beautiful thing. The whole process, guys, is pretty emotional. You're going to experience various different emotions at times, from excitement to anxiety to anger to frustration to just a realm of different emotions. But ultimately, us as realtors, we're here to make the process as smooth as possible, and basically just to kind of avoid any things that we could help with, any issues that may happen. We could foresee that, to try to prevent them before, and just being proactive in the whole process to make it a smooth transaction for our clients. Anything else you want to chime in on the?
No, I'm just gonna say closing, bringing the keys. That's the best part of the whole thing.
It is, and it's so awesome to be a homeowner. This is home ownership. This is the true way to generate wealth for your whole family. I know in my experience, I've never generated as much money as I ever had, as real estate has done, like having homes before and selling them. It's just, it's a beautiful thing to have, and you can live in the home, and a lot of people get caught up, with the first home as far as trying to find the perfect home. I would just say find a good, nice, safe home, safe area for your house, for your family. It doesn't have to be like your all-time dream home per se. It can be a nice home, but the idea, especially with rates being so low, is to really just get you in the home, nice, just something you would be happy with. Of course, something you're comfortable with, but something that's nice. Get into the home, great deal. You could stay there a couple years or whatever. But what's going to happen is you'll find out you know, you're going to have multiple options in a few years, you know, as your house appreciates in value. Now you have equity. Now you have options. Now you can either, if you want to sell later down the road, you can sell and move up to a bigger home, and you'll have a bigger down payment because you'll make money off the sale. If you're in a better position in 5 years to where you don't have to sell, you can keep it as an investment house. So now you have an investment property and a new home. And you know, if it comes down to it, if you want to stay there, you still have that equity to help out with any upgrades down the line. If you want to do any work to the home, if you want to, kids are going to college or whatever, you have that equity in your home to access. It just really, really gives you more options, and it's a beautiful thing to have your own property and own house.
Well,
it's a blessing.
Whole another conversation, but so many tax benefits too to owning a home.
Definitely.
And definitely going to sell your home and buying a new one, there's a tax benefit to that as well. So just so many benefits to own.
Very, very, very. So I guess we're going to conclude the webinar at that point, guys. I thank everyone for joining in. Again, if you haven't typed in your name in the chat, or if you haven't registered previously, please put your name in there so we can do the raffle and your name will be in there. At this point, what do we have? Oh, how about, I guess, Rosario, you can start, you know, telling people how to reach you, you know, your contact information. They want to, you know, use your service.
I'm trying to type it in all right now, so give me a second. But yeah, you can visit us on the web. It's Blueprint homeinspections.net. We're all over Facebook and Instagram. You can see, you know, a lot of times when we do our inspections, it's still a iffy, you know, what's going to happen. But what we like to do is we like to, when, you know, like Mario and yourself, when the homeowners get the keys, it's an exciting moment. So we like to try to be there when they hand over the keys and take pictures and just kind of be a part of that, because, you know, we're reassuring them that the house is safe and that they're going to have fun and they made a great decision. So we try to be a part of those you know, key giving. And so it's an emotional moment. I know when I bought my first house, my kids were super small, and my kids were like, "Hey, Dad, carry Mom over the threshold." And I was like, "There's no threshold." So I was like, "Oh, the door threshold." So we opened the front door and I carried her inside. And so it was like a big deal for us when our first home. And obviously that house is long gone, and we did make, you know, a good chunk of change off that money off of that house moving forward. And we just kind of keep building our wealth off of that home right there. So it's kind of a cool deal. But yeah, I mean, you can look us up. We're blueprinthomeinspections.net. Check out our website. You can schedule stuff online. You can see all the services that we offer online too as well. Usually the real estate agent schedules all those inspections and things like that. So definitely get with Mario and some other people to help you schedule those. But if you want to, like, look us up on the web, check us out on Google, look us up. You won't find any blemishes on us, because we go above and beyond, because we work for you. We work for the buyer to make sure that you're taken care of. And our reviews, our online, everything, our everything that is about us shows that. And so look us up and compare us to anybody you want. And so we're very confident in what we do and how we approach each one of these home buyers for sure. So I'm going to type in my information, but yeah, this good stuff right here for you guys.
Awesome. Hey, thanks for joining us today, Carlos, man. You've been a big,
welcome.
Big information, a lot of information there, a lot of good stuff. You really educated a lot of people on the inspections. And Tristan Purcell, you want to give everybody some information on how to contact you for your loan approval?
Yeah, definitely. So, you know, we're a local mortgage broker. We have an office here in Fresno. We have a team of probably about 10 people who work in our office, 6 loan officers and 4 support staff. So, you know, we have a good group of people. So you can look us up on snaphomeloans.com. That's snap, like snap your fingers, homeloans.com. We do a lot of things digitally. So if you are too busy to actually come into the office, we do a lot of apps online. We do a lot of apps over the phone. We do a lot of things via email and text message and secure document uploads and things like that. So you know, I know a lot of people, you know, they just don't have time now. And so they're like, hey, look, you know, if I get this done, you know, remotely, that's all the best, right? And
Sure.
so, yeah, look us up, snaphomeloans.com. I have another website that we use. It's called letsstoprenting.com. So you can look us up there at letsstoprenting.com and get some more information about buying a home and obviously contact us through that site. And you can look us up on Google. Just Google snaphomeloans.com. We have excellent 5-star reviews on Google. And then, you know, a lot of times we do a lot via text message and email and phone, and so we don't get to meet our clients in person usually during the transaction. But what we do like to do is have them come to our office and sign loan docs in our office with the notary. That way we can answer questions for the clients, we can go over the numbers, and we can make sure that the final part, at least for the mortgage, in terms of them signing their final loan documents, goes smoothly, and then we get to meet with the client as well, and it's a great time. It's a really great time that you know, a lot of these people never thought they'd get a mortgage, and so
I just want to touch on Tristan, what he's saying. You know, it's kind of important to have a local guy, someone you can call, someone you can text, someone you can go down to their office. I know Tristan's office is here in Fresno. It's kind of important because you need to have that communication. You need to have that quick response. When something's going awry with the loan or whatever, you need to have somebody who you can talk to answer questions quickly. And I know Tristan and his team offer that because they're local. So it's kind of important to get a local guy to help you guys out. It's really important for sure.
Yeah, hey, Kurt, I'm glad you brought that up. And the key word you guys are talking about in this is team. Is very important. So you kind of, as a buyer, you want to be surrounded with a good team, a team including the real estate agent, the lender, the home inspector, and title officer. You want to choose someone that really has, you know, has a group of people around them that are really on top of it, because this business, I mean, during escrow, there's a lot of moving parts going on. A lot of things can get, lost under the rug or whatever per se, but that's why it's very important to have a great team that works together cohesively and to make sure that you're getting the best service possible out of that team, in which we definitely provide. And like I said, whether it's me and our team or whoever you decide to work with, just make sure they are, on point and really can work together. So. But man, thanks again, guys. You guys have been a blessing for showing up and really helping out, educate everyone. So you guys know how to reach us. If you ever looking for a home, Real Estate Rich Sales Team, we are here to help. We love what we do. Mario is an awesome buyer. He helps a lot of buyers. I work with buyers, sellers. Yeah, we just got a great team. So feel free, if you have any additional questions, contact us after. All right, guys. So I guess it's time for the grand finale, right? Got to do the $100 raffle, right? Yeah, this is the time. Right. So thanks everyone for tuning in. This will be recorded, so if you miss it, don't worry. You can see it again, but you can't get this money again. Right. So let's shake it up. We got the names in the hat right here. You know, I like the name of this hat, right? Check it out. Before we choose, it's kind of a coincidence. The name of the hat says win-win on it. I don't know if you can see that. It's just a little, so it's a winning hat. How about that? Yeah, let's see who this lucky $100 winner is for joining in. Now let Mario call it out. Who got the $100 cash?
Ruby Villarreal.
Ruby Villarreal. Ruby Villarreal. So, hey, Ruby, if you're out there, congratulations. I will be reaching out to you. I have your email address because you did put it into the registration form. Well, congrats again. And thanks to everyone else. You guys are all winners because you're better. You're educated on the buying process. You're probably one step ahead of any other buyer that's not too familiar with it. But again, reach out anytime you have questions. 559-721-4313. Be happy to help you guys. And you guys have a blessed day.